Today's topic is how to find over 100 content ideas for your fitness blog in 3 minutes. And wouldn't that be lovely? Because it is something that people no doubt struggle with. I've struggled with it in the past for sure. It's hard to think of content ideas. So this episode is all about helping people find those content ideas. And it starts with, number one, Andrew, leveraging your audience.
Yeah, there's no better person to ask than our client base or our audience for topics on what interests them, what do they want to learn about. We've said it on previous podcast episodes. When you're in a session with a client, there's generally a question that's going to be asked by them on a particular health and wellness topic. That makes great content that we can then look to utilize. But equally, in our emails that we send out to clients or to our mailing list, using that like a PS at the bottom, asking them for feedback, asking them what's their current challenge that they're looking to overcome, because if they respond, then you've got a great piece of content that no doubt other people are going to be wanting to know the answer to as well.
Sure. Just on that one before we move on, if you do like a PS and ask a question and they respond, how important is it that you respond back to them to make sure that you then keep getting those responses? You see what I mean?
It's a great question, and the answer, I think, is absolutely critical. You don't have to go back to them within 5 minutes, but just out of common courtesy, I think it makes complete sense to A, show that you received it, but B, equally answer it. Ideally, I would look to answer it to them directly, and then obviously use that response as a piece of content to a wider audience. But in answer to your question, yeah, absolutely, I feel it's critical to respond to them, because it opens up that chain of communication then, as well as answering the question, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Next one is kind of one of your favourite websites, I think. They Ask You Answer. You mention it all the bleeding time.
I know. You're getting sick of hearing this, but I say it, it's like anything. You've got to do the drills, again and again and again to get better. And at times when we're talking with people and they come up with the same struggles they're having, let's get the basics done. And this to me was fundamental, this book. It was a big aha when I read it. The story really resonated with me. The book we're talking about, by the way, is They Ask You Answer, and the author is Marcus Sheridan. But equally, he goes through, and essentially it's what we've been speaking about. Clients are asking questions, we're answering them. That becomes content. And particularly when a lot of us don't have the financial clout or money to invest into advertising, Google advertising, Facebook advertising and the likes. So we feel that we can't really get the best from our marketing. Well, that's wrong. We can look at, let's create content, let's do inbound marketing. And this approach using They Ask You Answer can help you do that. Each question becomes a piece of content, be it a blog post, be it a podcast episode, be it a video that then gets put onto social media.
Yeah, fantastic. What about using Facebook groups, or maybe even we have a school community and asking questions on there? Can that help develop content?
Absolutely, for sure, and that goes into the next one, actually, where we're talking about Facebook group questions, because when you build a group, much like we're doing it on school, but you do it within Facebook as well, you're getting questions in that group that you can obviously answer directly in the group, but equally you can then strip that out and use it as content, as a blog post, video, podcast or whatever. But within Facebook, when you set up a group, there's questions that you get up to 3 questions that you can ask for people that are becoming members of that group. Can't remember if we do that on school or not, but certainly you can on Facebook. And you could ask pertinent questions, and that's going to give you some data back that will give you some great insights into where that person's at in their health and wellness journey, and that then sets it up to you to respond to them, and that that conversation will lead into conversions, hopefully down the line.
So in order to be part of the group, you have to answer the questions essentially. So it's not something you can skip, which is good.
Good point. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Direct engagement on social media. What is it, and why is it important?
I think this is where a lot of us fall down when it comes to social media. We struggle to come up with content. We find some content that we're going to put up, and we put it up there, and then we think our work's done. But that's only step one of the equation. Social media, well, the clue's in the title, I guess. Social. Being social, we interact, and that, I feel, is where we drop the ball. We need to not only post the content, we want to encourage someone to interact by liking, commenting, or sharing it. But then when we see that, if we see a reply, we want to be entering that conversation and then engaging with them. And that's where that direct engagement comes, because, again, once we've got that conversation flowing, we're learning more about that individual. They're learning more about us and our expertise, and that can ultimately then hopefully guide them to booking into a strategy call or whatever your call to action might be.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got another website, Answer the Public. Is this kind of similar to They Ask You Answer?
In a degree, but Answer the Public is owned by Neil Patel now, but you can go on, it's answerthepublic.com. You put in a seed, SEED keyword. It's two words maximum you can put in. So you could put in personal training, for example, or kettlebell training, home fitness, massage therapy, those sorts of terms. Hit return, and it will pull all the data of what searches people have been searching for around that term, and that will give you hundreds. That alone will give you hundreds of potential content that you can pull. Some of them not relevant, but most of them will be hyper specific, which you'll have weeks, months worth of potential content that you can build around. And the beauty about this is it's terms that people have been searching for. So there's buyer's intent there. So if you're producing content around that, they see that on your website and they're in your local area. If you're local, or if you're providing hybrid or online training, it doesn't really matter where they are, but you're going to be visible online, and then that increases the likelihood of you being found and potentially hired as their wellness provider.
Yeah, no, that's really good actually, because obviously, as we said, it is stressful trying to think of content and create content all the time, and that is, as you say, specifically, it's stuff people are looking to be answered. So not only are you creating content, you're creating valuable content, which will hopefully get you seen. And the last one, exploring Quora. Have I pronounced that?
Quora, yeah, Quora.
Quora and Reddit. I've never said that word in my life, and I didn't practice it. So
you did well. You guessed well. Yeah, Quora. I dip in and out of both of these. Reddit, I've started going into more. Again, Reddit's another social media platform for those who perhaps aren't in the know. But it seems to be, and I'm sure it's a specific age demographic that are on there. But there's some good questions on there, and for us as in sitting this side of the fence, there's a lot of personal trainers going on there asking who's the best education provider who should I qualify through. But equally, there's Reddit is a bit like Facebook groups, so there's lots of subcategories or subgroups based around a particular topic. So if you can find a topic around your area of expertise and you dip in there and there's a question and you can answer that, you're again raising your profile as a leading authority on that. But equally, the questions in there, other people were going to be thinking of that, so you can use that question and answer it on your social media platform of choice. And Quora is, again, it's like a bit like a Wikipedia, but it's where people going asking questions, and they've got leaders in that particular field, answering those questions. So it's a bit of a helpful, but again, both of them are great for finding topics that you could potentially use and build content from on that. So again, perhaps a little underutilized, and they should be used more as a resource.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, mate. I hope you guys found this useful, because as I say, it is stressful trying to think of and create content. So make sure you leverage your audience, use your email list, and get discussing questions with them. They ask you, answer. Great website, Answer the Public, another really good website, and in no time at all you will have hundreds of ideas to keep you going for months on end. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review and subscribe, and if you want to find out what's holding you back from growing your fitness business and get yourself a free website audit, go to strengthmatters.com/audit.